And welcome to another edition of South Texas Now. Bienvenidos a todos mis amigos que hablan nuestro idioma español. Bem-vindo a mis amigos que falan portugués. Et bienvenido a mes amis qui parlent le français aussi, because we're on the World Wide Web. The world is becoming smaller. We put this out on the internet. We also put it out on our CBS affiliates, NBS affiliates, CW, and all of the people from Lopez Broadcasting we want to thank too. But we have a very special guest today. Without further ado, I want to bring on somebody who has impacted this community greatly in many ways, including industry, including movement of policy that helps and betters people. And I'm very honored to bring on Connie Scott. Hi, Connie.
Hi.
How are you?
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Well, thank you for coming on in such short notice. I didn't know what to ask for this, honestly, for this interview. It's a little bit too early to talk a bunch of politics, but tell the audience about your education, training, background, your family.
Well, I grew up in a small town, Luling, Texas. I'm one of 6 girls, no boys. I grew up in a very poor family. We were, I guess you would say, we were the family that the church brought clothes to for a long time. My dad later on made it in the oil field business quite a bit, so we went from being this family to being a total different family and had things like new cars and houses and things like that. But then my dad kind of let alcohol take over his life, and so we had kind of the rug pulled out from underneath our feet, too. So coming from that kind of background, coming from growing up in a small town when you've not had it and had it, not had it, it kind of puts the emphasis on what's really important. And those family members that you can count on and the people that were there for you is so much more important to me than the stuff in life. So I don't have a college degree. I graduated from high school. I lived by myself my junior and senior year of high school and still got up and went to school every day. I look back at my grandkids now, I guess you would say, not even my children, because I was there. I wanted to be a different mother than I had. Not that my mother was bad. She just made some choices that I didn't agree with. But I wanted to be different. I look at my grandchildren now and I think of getting up and going to school and just that load of responsibility put on you at such an early age and not knowing where you're going in life. After high school, after graduation, I didn't have the opportunity to go to college. I had to go to work. I'd been working for a year and a half, supporting myself, paying bills, living on my own. Not all doing it on my own. It takes a village. I had a great group of friends and family and my friends' parents that kind of took over thinking that they were the boss of me when nobody else is around, which thank God for that. I was very blessed in having that around me. Or I could have made some really bad choices. And while I made mistakes, and everybody makes mistakes, everybody does things you look back on in life and you wish you'd have maybe done them a little bit different. But I'm very proud of the fact that I didn't fall down that road of drugs or abuse or fall into the cracks of not accomplishing something well. I guess my education and my experience is more my work experience, my survival experience, my experience of knowing that, if the electricity gets turned off, I don't have anybody to call. You have to pay your bills. You have to stand up and take care of yourself. And at a young age, I also found out that I was pregnant with my daughter who's here today. I was 19, and actually the true story of the matter and the whole fact of the matter is I had joined the Marines. I was going to go there to get my education and to do something with my life, and picked the Marines because I have the Marine Corps birthday, but was leaving for boot camp. It got postponed twice on the date to leave, and I think that's pretty standard now, I understand, but when I was leaving on females, they do a pregnancy test, and I had no earthly idea, but I was pregnant with my daughter, and probably changed the direction of my life, but saved my life as much. I have a wonderful daughter. I have 2 beautiful girls that have made me proud every step of the way, and I am so honored that to be their mother and to stand up for women and females and the things they've done with their lives, and they've raised their children so much better than I ever did with them. You try to do the best you can, and I think I was a good mom, but oh my goodness, they're even better. They're great moms.
Well, as parents, we make a million mistakes, but they always bring you a bill at the end of it, right? But the grandchildren are the present.
Grandchildren are the reward, aren't they? Yes.
It's very rare that somebody who's done public service like yourself is so honest with the community. All these politicians are afraid to talk about their past or things they have to hide, and what makes it so almost easy for you just to come out and tell the truth.
I have a strong faith in the Lord. I believe in God, and I know that we're all sinners. Every last one of us. We all make mistakes. And I also believe in the forgiveness, and I believe in the change that can come with your life when you accept the Lord. And I have a good heart. I believe I'm in this for the right reason, and if I don't get elected because of me saying that I got pregnant when I wasn't married, or having a child out of wedlock, or not having a college degree, or any of those things, then that's just not where I'm supposed to be. But I think the more you bring these things out and the more you're honest with everyone else, you can be honest with yourself, and we can move forward. I think that's part of what's wrong with politics nowadays is people try to be something that they're not. They try to profess that they're these perfect people and perfect individuals that know the answers to every problem. We don't. None of us know the answers to everything. Do we want to represent the people? Do we want to sit down and listen, to sit down and meet with people who have different opinions than ourselves? You have to, or you're not truly representing the people. You're not doing your job.
Yes, and there's ideologies that we all agree on, and one of the things we were talking offset before we started was, I can't believe in this country how far apart we've become just over the last 10, 20 years. When Lyndon Johnson and Ted Kennedy could reach over the aisle to, somebody like Senator Grassley or somebody, even Ted Cruz type of leadership, and agree for the betterment of the people that we'll reach a bill. Now, this isn't your first rodeo.
No. When
you
I
have
served
public
in the
service.
Legislature, I did just exactly that. And I think I went to Austin. I served in the 82nd Legislature. And we had a supermajority of Republicans there. We really...
You could have run the show if you wanted to, right?
We didn't need to even get anybody else's opinion. But that's not who I am, and it's not how I wanted to be and how I wanted to serve, nor is it the district that I represented. The district that I represented was just, I think, District 34, and it was pretty much 50-50 down the road. And you cannot represent that area of people without listening to both sides and being willing to listen to both sides and work. And I found when I was in Austin that people that I maybe didn't expect to work with, didn't expect to have a resource, didn't expect to have the same opinions with, once we sat down at the table and we could come to agreements, we could come to things that I was willing to do and that they were willing to do. And that's what I thought that the system was supposed to be. That's what I thought politics was supposed to be. Listening to different opinions while sticking to your principles. By all means, I'm a Christian woman, and I will stick to my principles in my life, and doesn't go against the Bible. I'm not going to vote for things that I do not believe in, but I also think sometimes we don't allow people to talk to us about things that maybe, there's a difference of opinion, that we could come to some type of mutual agreement. With the line in the sand that we have now, we're not going anywhere. And it's basically one of the same things why I'm running for this office, because it has become so divided and the lines drawn in the sand. I think we have to get back to that mutual respect, mutual integrity, listening to each other, having a difference of opinion maybe about this one issue where we vote no on. You can do that with respect, where maybe tomorrow's issue we can come back to the table and we can work together. But when you do so in a way where you can't get back to the table, that's what's wrong with this country. That's what's wrong with politics. That's what's wrong with individuals that are serving. They tend to be, to me, serving themselves and not the public that elected them for office.
No, and I think your candor, applies and resonates with over 90% of the women in South Texas, and their husbands and their families. both of my parents went back and got their education in their 40s. So they were role models for us. My father graduated from 8th grade, and my mother went back and became an RN when she was in her 40s. I even went to college with my mother.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was in my 20s and 40s, and I have olive skin. She's got lighter skin than you do. And one day she said, "You forgot to bring your laundry back." And they said, "Well, is he dating an older woman?" And I said, "No, this is my mother." And they said, "Your mother? She's got blue eyes, red hair. What's going on here?" But my dad was darker than an oak tree, so I kind of came out half and half in the oven, you know. But
my family was a very strong military family. I mean,
yes.
My grandfather served in World War II in the Navy.
Thank you.
My husband served in Vietnam as a Marine. My daughter, Brittany Gonzalez, served in the Navy as well during Afghanistan. And her husband, my son-in-law, has served. He is a career Navy commander in the Navy, yes.
Well, we've got a couple of minutes left. I just wanted to give you the floor on this. What kind of committees, very quickly, have you served on in Austin?
In Austin, I served on the Military and Veteran Affairs. I served on the Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence Committee, and I served on the Local and Consent Calendar. And it was a tremendous, a tremendous honor to serve in Austin and to see the way legislation works and how someone like myself, a non-lawyer, non-college graduate, could go and basically the principles behind all of the legislation that affects us at home is more common sense than anything. I mean, they have legislative aides and they write the bills when you send your intent and what you want. I think that's the misconception that a lot of people have, that you have to be that. We're smart individuals. We have a lot of other opportunities for people that pay high-paying jobs right now. I think for a while there we got so far off into thinking that everybody had to have a college degree in order to succeed. My husband owns a multi-million-dollar business, and he says his degree is from the University of Vietnam. He did not go to college either. He has a high school degree.
We're going to talk about Zuckerberg, and we're going to talk about Dell, and we're going to talk about all these guys who never finished college, but that are the top 0.01 rich.
0.01.
Yeah.
Yes, you learn from experience, too. Yeah. Not saying you shouldn't get it. I am not in any way, shape, or form degrading anyone or saying you shouldn't get a degree. But we have to start accepting that that's not the only road that we can go on, and people can make a living and make a good living with other opportunities. Most of
us don't have a law degree. Well, we're out of time for right now. This segment, we're going to be back, take a break for our sponsors, but we want to thank Connie Scott. You're watching her, and former state rep, business leader. Also self-made woman. And when we come back, we are going to delve more into issues that affect our county and get the conservative view of what's going on in Nueces County when we come back.